Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Here's another book, brothers and sisters. It's called The One Thing by Gary Keller. The One Thing by Gary Keller. I give it a B+, A-. It's not a bad book. And I have condensed it into about 2 pages. And from those 2 pages, I took out 3 of the most important points to give to you so that we may be able to take it. Rasulullah ﷺ said, hikmah is the lost property of the believer. Wherever they find it, let them take it. So from that sense, it's good that we take hikam from different places so we can improve ourselves. Now, number 1, he says, do not fear big. Meaning, don't fear doing big things. Fear mediocrity. Because mediocrity, medius, it comes from the word mediocre, comes from a mountain, a rugged mountain, and you're stuck in the middle, okay? That's where the word is derived, meaning you're not there, you're not up, you're not down, you're just stuck right in the middle, right? Medius acris, so meaning to say that you're stuck in a rugged mountain in the middle somewhere. Don't live mediocrity, right? Live big, think big, and don't live a wasted life. So that's important for all of us. We have to think big. We have to think, okay, what is the Muslim situation in all parts? We have to start thinking one ummah, because Rasulullah ﷺ said we are one ummah. We have to start thinking on that bigger scale to say, how do we improve ourselves? What do we do? What our communities don't have? We don't have any place to go. We don't have any place to hang out. We don't have any. We have made everything haram and we have nothing halal instead for alternatives. So we have to start thinking big. We have to start thinking 100 years forward, not just, oh, what are we going to do now? I'm going to die and then leave nothing. No, you should leave a legacy of good things. That's number 1. Number 2, he talks about improving one thing in all of the spheres of your life. For example, your spiritual life, your job, your relationships, anything that it is, one thing only, your financial life. What is that one thing that you need to do in order to make big improvements, and you start doing them? You see, well, just one thing, not 2, not 3, not 4, just one thing in your spiritual life. How's your prayer? Are you lax in there? So concentrate on that until you get it right to the point and increase it and get really good in your concentration, your sujood, your ruku, and your pronunciation, all of those things. And then you move on to another big thing that changes. So this is how. So that's a very important point that you can actually take into your life in all of that. Your spending, for example, you're too much credit card spending. We can't deal with interest. That's number 1. Number 2, you don't want to take on debt. Debt to take on for what? You want to live in misery? So you have to be careful. So one thing you need to be able to change. If you're not saving, if you're not giving, you're not doing sadaqah, whatever it is, change that one thing, become good, and then move on to the next. Thirdly, when you choose a big life, you have to go small to get there, right? Extraordinary results come from narrow focus. What does that mean? Meaning to say, if you're choosing an extraordinary life, you have to become good at your craft. So if you don't know how to write properly, learn how to write properly. If you don't know how to recite properly, learn how to recite. Go small, learn the nitty-gritty of everything, and then improve from there slowly, slowly, slowly. You see, the turtle wins the race, right? It's not the rabbit that goes fast. And you got to start, so you got to have a narrow focus. So you see the big picture, then you have it. In another book, it was talking about the yin and yang theory. There's no point, there's no time in this lecture to talk about that. But you need to be able to think big, and then when you're putting the action, go narrow, right? And concentrate. Every athlete that's become top of its field, it's narrowed down. In cricket, you become a batsman, you start stroking the ball all the time. You start thinking about where the ball is coming, how to play spin, how to play fast bowling, all of those things, so that you'll be able to do that. If you're a bowler, you have to see your run up and your rhythm and so on and so forth. Your hand, you know how your hand goes from top, bottom, so you have to start narrowing things down, and that's how you become great. So these are the 3 points, brothers and sisters. Inshallah, I hope you enjoy them. Pass them to somebody who's being in a rut. You don't have to be in a rut. You can come out of a rut very, very quickly by actually doing these 3 things. May Allah save us all, give us brighter days. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.